I've kind of been out of sorts today. I was kind of out of sorts yesterday, and I'm out of sorts again today. Silly things, little things. I think I'm a little bit tired, a little bit stressed lately, I guess, with the things going on in the world. And I just kind of, today, I guess hit the wall. I don't know what to say. I just kind of realized today, I've let a lot of stress get to me. And then I opened my mailbox and I had a seed catalog. And y'all, I'm just taking 5 minutes to look at this catalog, might be more than that, and just enjoy it and escape for a little bit, just escape the little daily grind. This is the Seed Savers Exchange catalog, and I think it's absolutely beautiful this year. It's pretty every year, but this year they kind of went with an old artwork type theme, and I just think it's gorgeous. And I'm going to look at it for a few minutes, and I thought, you know what, maybe y'all would like to do that too. Just look at it with me for a few minutes. I did notice this year that instead of it just being a seed catalog, it's kind of like a little book. I'm going to come back later and really read all of these articles. I'm going to read them. Look at that beautiful picture of that bean popping up out of the ground. That's gorgeous. I'm gonna take a picture of that and send it to my friend. When her beans popped up last year, it was the first time she'd ever grown bush beans or pole beans and things like that. And when the beans came up and this little bean part right here popped up with it, she went around and shoved them all back in the ground because she thought her seeds had popped out of the ground. And I told her, I said, oh, no, that's normal. I said, let all this come up. So she was like, uh-oh, I've already pushed them all back in. So I think that's funny. I'm going to show her this picture. But there's page after page of information in here. This is a company, it looks like maybe this year they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. Cheers to 50 years. There you go. They're a company that's been around a while. I'm not doing any kind of commercial for them. Was happy, I guess, to see this catalog come in because I've loved ordering from them for many, many years. And a lot of the seeds I have come from them. And even though they're from out of state, they're from Decorah, Iowa, I find that a lot of it is just fine for growing down here where I live in South Louisiana. So I love this catalog. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's like a painting, but it's a painting of all kind of beans. I like that. I've been thinking of painting something else for my house, and I want it to have something to do with the way I live and my property. This gives me a good idea of maybe take a picture of some vegetables, but then use the picture as a guide to paint them. Cool. Here's a whole thing about saving seeds. That would be good reading, but also just like a good catalog to keep as a reference. I'm sure you can get online or you can call them or get on, their website somehow and request a catalog. It's free. I didn't pay for this. It's just that I order from them periodically, so they just send me one every year on the farm where it happens. Cool. See what I mean? This year's catalog is more like a magazine, but better than magazines that I've gotten in the past because it's all about gardening. And I love reading all about gardening. Spencer Carter, A Heart Filled with Hope. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to look at that. Now, getting to the seed catalog part. They usually, and it looks like they're kind of doing that this year, they have some special collections every year that they sell. And then they feature things that are brand new, like new seeds that they're carrying. And this whole company is all about preserving heirloom seeds and saving seeds. So that's why it's so interesting, because some of the things they offer you just can't find anywhere else because they are maintaining a seed bank. And when they finally feel like a seed bank is established enough and can be put on the market, then they'll start selling it. But you never know which ones they're going to select every year, so it's interesting. And it's always varieties that they've kind of tried out a lot, they've done trials with, and it's just unique things you can't just go get at your regular little hardware store or something. So looks like, well, these are the collections, I think. A zucchetta rampicante squash, which is this up here. Almost reminds me of an Armenian cucumber, but it's a squash, it says. And they have some different lettuces. Willie's garden tomato, yellow tomato, lots of other lettuces. My squirrels and rabbits would love it if I would just plant all kind of lettuce right now. These are the ones that are new up here, new for 2025. And right here, well, this one's called Giant Prague Celeriac. It doesn't matter what it's called. I've been thinking about maybe trying to grow some celeriac, which might need to be grown about right now. I'm not sure. I don't really know about celeriac, but I'm gonna look into it because from what people say, it's a nice little vegetable to grow and it's fairly easy from what I hear. A lot of new flowers. I'm not so much interested in ordering flower seeds. I've been trying to reseed a lot of stuff with that from what I already have. And this is where I get into the good things that I like to look at, like the beans. But the thing is, I pretty much have them all at this point. I have Bountiful, I have Dragon's Tongue, I have Empress. I don't have these Fin de Bagnol, I don't have those. Down here I have the Dallas Edwards, I have Cherokee Trail of Tears, and I have Burpee Stringless. Here's a recipe. They put recipes throughout their catalog, and this one is green bean dumpling soup. Just last week, my friend made some green bean soup. I had never heard of that before in my life. I've heard of putting green beans like in stew or whatever, but just to make a soup called green bean soup, I had never heard of that. And now within a week, she sent me that recipe, and now here I have a green bean dumpling soup recipe. So that's interesting. More of their beans. I have Kentucky Wonders. Well, that's a pole and that's a bush. Probably have both of them. I have Ideal Market. This is Pencil Pod Golden Wax. I don't have those anymore, but they didn't do too great down here. They have lots of them. Over here are their dried beans. I have all of these, except for these Hidatsa Red, which I did have before and grew them, and they grew really well, but I didn't save seeds. But the Tiger's Eye, this Turkey Craw over here. See if you can see the Turkey Craw. I have those. Those are nice. The Mayflower beans, which are right here. These go by other names too. I can't remember right now. Yeah, and it says it in here. Look at here. Amish Nuddle. And they're a cut short type of dried bean. I have those. They grow really good. These are the Good Mother Stollards up here. You've got your Calypsos, your Anacara Yellows, Hidatsa Shield, and these also go by other names sometimes. I see in different catalogs this exact bean and they'll name it different things. But I've grown all of these on this page and they're all good beans. Christmas limas, I guess we're on the lima page over here, the big Christmas limas. And at the bottom is one called Wix Lima right here, Wix Lima. It looks like it's either black and white or dark color and white. I've never seen that before. I might have to order that just because. This right here is a Henderson bush. I've got plenty of those seeds. And over here is all your runner beans. I planted some scarlet runner beans last year. They didn't put off very many pods, but they did put off lots of foliage. A lot of people plant all these runner beans to attract birds and butterflies and all their good pollinator plants. I need to do more research because I have read things about certain parts of them, certain times of the year, whatever, it can be poisonous. And I'm just really leery about planting things that are poisonous. But if y'all can clue me in on runner beans, let me know. Should I be scared of them or not? I'm not scared of them as a pollinator, of course, but I don't want to harvest something and eat it that could be bad, or I don't want to cook it, in other words, in a way that could be bad. I don't want to assume I can cook it like a snap bean and then come to find out I'm only supposed to eat the beans, not the pods or something like that. So I need to know that. If anybody grows those and has some information, that'd be great. Here's all their beets. I think I'm passing on beets for a while. I know they're good, y'all. I canned some not too long ago, but it's just not my absolute favorite. I don't think I'm going to spend money on beet seeds right now because the ones I have will get me through if I need to plant some. And I'll just kind of wait before I order new ones. I do like ordering brassica seeds, but right now I'm loaded down with them. I'm loaded down with them. I have a lot of these bok choy type plants. I have a lot of the Chinese cabbage type plants. Well, this is celery here. But I have a lot of Chinese cabbage plants. What was that one called last year? Mishahila, something like that. I have tried twice to grow broccoli, and rabbits ate it last year and the squirrels ate it this year. So if I'm not going to grow it under cover or under chicken wire, I'm just not going to be able to grow it. And I have a lot of seeds that'll get me by for right now. I've never really grown cabbage. I have a lot of cabbage seeds. Never really grown it yet. That's a shame, but something I need to try. They sell a lot of varieties of collard greens and stuff that are unique and unusual. This one of these, the one on the left, is Ellen Felton Dark. The middle one is Georgia Southern, which I can get a hold of pretty easy. The one on this side over here is called Miss Annie Pearl Councilman. Those are collard greens. At the bottom, there's one called Old Timey Blue. And then that one there is just your Vates collard, which is pretty common. They have an article here called The Collard Curriculum. I might need to read that because I can grow them pretty easy. It's just keeping them from getting eaten. That's the thing. And I don't even have deer. We have deer all over the place down here, but for some reason they haven't come in my yard yet. But it's the rabbits and the squirrels that are eating everything from me. This is all your kales here. And over here, there's some collections here at the bottom of different things, different mustard greens and things. But up here are your kohlrabis, which I've grown before. I gave some seeds to a friend of mine, and she's going to try them this year. I'm hoping they come out for her. It's one of the things I have managed to grow before that are kind of unusual, but it worked out. I love ordering different types of rutabagas, and Seed Savers Exchange always has a few varieties that I don't see anywhere else. Let me see if I can show you better. This one is called a Cairns Family Hanover. The one in the middle is a Macomber. And then this one on the end kind of looks like your regular purple top ones, but it's called a Tipperary. Let's see. At the bottom is just turnips, purple top, white globe turnips. It's only variety they offer in that. Make a gift that grows. They always, appreciate it if you make donations to them, or when you go to check out, they'll usually ask if you want to make a little donation. This is kind of I guess you would call a nonprofit seed savers place. And here's the carrots. They always have your regular carrots that you can get all over the place, the chantenays and the ox hearts and everything, but they always usually have some varieties that are unusual as well. I've got tons of carrot seeds. I've got tons of all seeds right now, so I really don't need to order anything. But I just needed to decompress for a few minutes, and this feels good. This feels very good. I have grown this little Heiserleid blue corn up here. This one right here. It's got a lot of white in it, but it's got some blue in it as well. And I grew that, I think, last year, and was able to get some corn out of it. Country Gentlemen's, all your little glass gems, double reds, golden bantams, and the Stoll's Evergreen, which is right here, which is a pretty common one, but a very, very good corn. There's all the different cucumbers. I see this year they have dragon's egg. I've grown dragon's egg for years. I love these little cucumbers. These look white here. Mine always look a little yellow when I grow them, but I've always just gotten them from rareseeds.com, which is Baker Creek. And now I see that they have them at Seed Savers Exchange, but they're really good. So all kind of different cucumbers. Oh, a whole another page of cucumbers, most of which I have. Punakira, I got it. True Lemon, I've got it. Miniature White, I've got it. There's a few that I don't have. Snow's Fancy Pickling, and a Suyo Long. I know a lot of people grow these little gherkins. I've never grown the gherkins before, but everybody seems to like them. Tons of eggplants. I did plant some eggplant plants this year because I got them on sale at the store for $1 per plant. But I do already have a lot of eggplant seeds that I could use to start plants if I want to. And I don't really eat a ton of eggplant. I like it. I do like it. But I don't eat a ton of it, so I'm not really investing a lot of my time right now into eggplants. Ground cherries I grew last year. They did really good. They have one at the bottom, this one right here called Drott's Yellow Ground Cherry. And then they have another one there called Lowen Family Heirloom Ground Cherry. Of course, the color looks a little different on a couple of them, but pretty much they all look the same size. I've got plenty of Aunt Molly's ground cherry seeds if I want to start plants this year. I really want to grow leeks. I tried last year and they didn't do anything. The seeds didn't do anything. I really want to grow leeks, but it hadn't worked out yet. The recipe down here is for the ultimate tomato pie. I've got a tomato pie recipe that I like and it's really good. I'm gonna just stick with that. Here's all their lettuces. Tons of lettuces. If you're into lettuces, they have some really good heirloom seeds in here. Everything they sell is heirloom. I don't think they sell any hybrids at all. It's all heirlooms in this catalog. I love melons. I love them so much that I have accumulated so many melon seeds. I'll never grow this many melons. As you know, I have seeds, so I don't need any more, but I love looking at them. They have the Amish melon, early Hanover, Chardonnay, all of these over here. Prescott Fond Blanc, Delice de la Table, Minnesota Midget. I have a lot of those already. Ooh, more melons, more melons. The Hyogen, Eden's Gem, Ford Hook Gem, which I managed to grow one year, but they didn't get really big. And then the year before that, the deer ate them. So one of these days, I'm gonna grow some Ford Hook Gems. That's a seed that was almost extinct, and they've pretty much brought it back. This page has a lot of unique stuff on it. They got their artichokes at the top. That middle one is that giant Prague celeriac. I'm really curious. I really would love feedback if anybody grows celeriac, has tips on it, or just thinks I should stay away from it. They have a couple of celery varieties here. Tall Utah, I have those seeds. Let's see, in the middle is Pink Star Endive. Oh, that's an endive. Yeah, I didn't know. I was confused by this name at the bottom. Trefine Marachere Endive. It wasn't until I got to the word endive I even knew what they were talking about. Over here, some salsify. I've never grown that. I'd love some feedback on salsify if anybody grows that. Huckleberry, parsnips. Up there in the top corner is radicchio. I believe I have some radicchio seeds. We always grow okra down here in the south. Let's see, Cajun Jewel, Clemson Spineless, Hill Country Red, Red Burgundy, and Star David. I probably have most of those. And I have some varieties that are almost just like those, except they're just named something different. And I always skip over the onion sections because I just really don't grow onions. I should. Boy, I use a lot of onions. But if I do want to grow them, my local Ace Hardware always sells onion sets I can go buy. These are peas. Lots of peas. And I've got peas growing right now. They just come into bear. I'm just starting to harvest them. I love growing peas. Just your regular English shelling peas. I love growing those. The plants are just beautiful. And I love Seed Savers Exchange pepper section. This is just the first page of it here, y'all. But it's worth getting the catalog for if you really like to grow peppers. And they have tons of varieties of peppers in here. I have a lot of them. I haven't even grown most of what I have, but I have a lot of them. Let me look on this page. I'll just give you some names on this page. It's maybe some you've never heard of before. The Fatalii, the Georgia Flame, that's the fish pepper there. I have those seeds. And down here at the bottom is a couple of ornamental peppers. I've heard those are hot peppers, those ornamentals are. But in this corner right here is one called a habanero red. That's pretty common. This is a Bulgarian carrot, black Hungarian there, and a beaver dam. I have the beaver dam seeds, but I haven't grown them yet. Another full page of peppers. Just look how beautiful some of these are. In the middle there is the Martin's carrot pepper. And there in the center there is Mall's Red Hot. They have so many. I kind of went on a pepper seed buying craze there for a while. Those must have been their hot peppers, and these are their sweet peppers. The bullnose bells I've grown before. The Feher, am I saying this right? Feher Orzon pepper, which is a paprika pepper. I have those seeds, and I grew those last year. My drought kind of took my plants out before they really did great, but I did get a few. These are called Garden Sunshines, Golden Treasure, which is an orange pepper there. All kind of these at the bottom and everything too. Chervina Chuska, the Burans, I have all of those. I got you peppers. I can hook you up on pepper seeds if you need any. And keeps on going. See, that they have so many peppers. It keeps on going. Miniature chocolate bells, miniature red bells, miniature yellow bells, Napoleon sweet, Marconi reds. That is a very popular pepper to grow. King of the North. Just all kinds of them. And now we're to the radishes. I have so many radish seeds. I actually ordered a pound of radish seeds from somewhere last year. I think they were these. I think I ordered them from him, from this company. I ordered a pound of the French breakfast and a pound, let me see. It might be this pink lady slipper. That might be what I did. Anyway, do you know how much a pound, how many, I guess I should say, a pound of radish seeds will grow you? A gazillion. A gazillion. I don't know what I was thinking. Spinach page. I've got tons of spinach seeds. Jumping over to their squash. I always like to try to see if there's varieties of squash that I never grew before. I'm seeing one right here. Pattison Panache Jaunet Vert. How do y'all think I'm doing with this French? Not very good. I have the regular golden zucchinis. I have the Black Beauty zucchinis, the summer crookneck, winter squash. I just did an ode to winter squash video. Just kind of let y'all spend a few minutes with me while I was processing some for supper. And I love winter squash. But I'm always looking for varieties I don't have the seeds for. So there's a few in here I see. Fortuna White Pumpkin. I see those. A Ford Hook Acorn. I've never heard of that. This one up here, let me get it closer to you. This one up here is called a Dostal Cucumber Winter Squash. I've never heard of that. And that red one there to the left of the screen is called a Boston Marrow. Boston Marrow. I've never heard of any of those. Matter of fact, this one over here is called an Anna Schwartz Hubbard. Never heard of that. A lot of them on this page are your regular, your Jarondale, your Long Island cheese, Guatemalan blue banana. I grew a couple of those this year. I did. A lot of these I have, but a couple of them I'm seeing I don't. It's so very interesting. I just feel like winter squash seeds are like money in the bank. I mean, these squash are so easy to deal with because you just can set them on a shelf. That's it. You don't have to come in and put them in the freezer. You don't have to use jars, time canning or anything. You just come in, put them on the shelf, and put them in a cool, dry place. And, just eat them when you want to over the next months. If you start seeing they're going a little bad, start eating them. If not, you can hold them over through Christmas or whatever, I just feel like they're such a good investment. Here's a whole thing of gourds. If you like growing gourds for any reason, they have lots of varieties of those. Swiss chard, tomatillos. I've got a lot of tomatillo seeds. I love growing those. And then y'all, when they get in their tomato section, it's fabulous. I have a lot of the seeds in here, and I haven't had the time to grow all of them, but they're just wonderful, wonderful heirloom varieties. The Black Sea Man right here, I have that one. Japanese Truffaut Black, I have that one. Eva Purple Ball, I have that one. I've probably gotten a little bit crazy and ordered most of these. There's your Paul Robeson's up here. Ukrainian Purple, that looks like kind of a big plum tomato. All kinds of them. These are their red and pinks. And a lot of companies will send you catalogs with tons of tomatoes in them, but a lot of them are hybrids and varieties that are pretty common named, you know, just things you would recognize that you can buy sometimes at your Tractor Supplies or Home Depots and all. But this catalog has nothing but unique peppers and tomatoes and, well, all things. And that's why I like to order them a lot of times, because they're just different and they're unique. And it's just not something I can get everywhere. And I love that. And it continues on. German Pink, Hungarian Heart, Kolb, Large Red Cherry, Livingston's Paragon. Never heard of that before. John Bear, Canner Hole. That's this one right here. I have it and have not grown it yet. Martino's Roma. I know a lot of people grow those Roma tomatoes. Oh, this one here. Let me hold it up a little better. That middle one there that says the collection, Mexico Midget. That is the best cherry tomato I've ever grown. It is the best. I started plants this year and I planted them and the squirrels took them down, so they didn't make it. But the year before that, I grew them in the exact same spot. The squirrels didn't mess with them and they grew like crazy. And then also at my old house, I grew them and they grew like crazy. So I highly suggest these Mexico Midget cherry tomatoes. If you take one reference from me out of this book, I would definitely order those. They're sweet and delicious and they're just wonderful. And they're just prolific. Still on tomatoes. Here's another heirloom tomato pie recipe. Looks pretty intensive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, about 13 different ingredients there. It looks kind of a little bit complicated, but it's probably good. More red and pink tomatoes. Now we're getting to their yellow tomatoes. Lemon Drop, Maiden's Gold, Wapsipinicon Peach. I'm sure I said that wrong. Jumping into the watermelons. I have lots of watermelon seeds, more than I'll ever be able to grow, but I just love buying watermelon seeds, especially ones that I know grow good here in South Louisiana. And they have a whole back section. I don't know if you can't really tell, but it's a good many pages. And they go through all the different herbs that they sell. I have not yet jumped on the train of growing every herb possible for every disease possible, but I know a lot of people have. I need to do things like that. Believe me, I would love to have that backup in my tool kit, you know, of really knowing herbs and growing herbs that are helpful. I just haven't branched out there yet. I have to take on little things at the time, and I haven't branched out there yet. That being said, I did order a mullein plant from Azure Standard, and it is doing wonderful out in my flower bed. I have no idea what to do with it. I did look it up the other day, and it told me how I could store it. I went ahead and dried some leaves. It was also saying I could put some of the leaves in olive oil. I didn't do that. I just dried them, but I don't know exactly how to use it medicinally, and I need to find things like that out. I need to get really, really curious and find those things out. They roll right here into other things like dill, like fennel. That's a finale fennel up there. They have one right here called Florence fennel, garden cress, chamomile. Pretty much anything you would want to start a beautiful herb garden is all in here. Lemon balm, lemon mint, hyssop, English lavender, all kinds of parsleys and rosemaries. Here's a recipe for condensed tomato soup. St. John's wort. Not sure which one it is. Oh, it's this one. St. John's wort. Summer savory. green sage, all kind of things, sweet marjoram. I did try to grow sweet marjoram last year, but the drought kind of took it out. And then they have a whole flower section, which that's another thing. I love flowers, and I planted a lot last year, and I did save some seeds. And, you know, I'm going to kind of go with that right now rather than invest a lot of money in flower seeds. There's just so many, and they're all so pretty, but I don't have a lot of time and bandwidth to really focus on a lot of flowers. I know that might sound terrible. I want to grow them, but right now I'm just growing easy things like zinnias and flower mixes that I can buy by the bag at Tractor Supply and all. I'm just kind of throwing things out there to get a quick pollinator row type situation going with all kind of different flowers. And it worked for me last year. I had bees and butterflies like crazy last year and didn't have any in 2023. And when I say last year, I mean this past spring's growing season, which is really 2024. It's not last year, but it's over, so I refer to it as last year. And more flowers, more flowers. There's my zinnias that I love right there. Zinnias are easy. They're like flowers for first graders. I mean, you just can't go wrong with a zinnia. You don't have to start the plants or anything. Just throw the seeds out there and they grow like crazy. I guess we're going to finish this catalog with all their flowers. Ooh, sunflowers. I've got a Ziploc full of sunflower seeds right now. This is a wonderful company, y'all. These are some just different things they have. Garden in a box, salsa. They sell all kind of stuff like that. But they're just a wonderful company. Just absolutely good. I love ordering from them. I love their story. One day, if I ever get to travel or do anything, I'd love to go to some of these places. They have sections that you can tour and do different things at some of these bigger companies that have been around for a while. Because really, they want to educate everybody and grow in plants and seeds and to save them, to treasure these varieties and save them so that we don't lose them. Their last page says, "Thank you from our staff." So I'll just say thank you too for sitting here with me today and looking through the seed catalog from Seed Savers Exchange. I enjoyed it. I feel better now. I just feel a little more relaxed, a little less stressed. It's just the end of the day. I'm trying to do a lot of things and get supper going and everything. And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to relax. And I'm going to look at this catalog and enjoy it. I'll peruse it more in detail later. But for right now, I just thought I would enjoy it, and I wanted to share it with you. Y'all have a great day. This is Lainey from Hilltop Home Place. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.